Hi, this is Alan Seid, coach, author, trainer, founder of Cascadia Workshops. I'm sitting here in my office and I thought I would share something with you that when I learned it, it was such a profound insight. It really gave me a lot more clarity about the ways in which I show up in my interactions. I have an upcoming 4-day mini intensive in the process called Nonviolent Communication. The reason it's called Nonviolent Communication is because Dr. Marshall Rosenberg wanted to align himself with Gandhi's movement, which was really about truth telling and compassion. So, what I want to show you are 4 options that we have for how to hear any message. So, typically, when I do this in a live workshop, I'm asking people to say something that could hurt my feelings, say something that could offend me, and that gives me the opportunity to really demonstrate these 4 options. So, one of the things that I often get is something like, "You're the worst presenter I've ever experienced." So I'll describe the 4 options and then we'll go through that message and how I might receive that message and go through the 4 options I have for how to interpret that. So let's first talk about 2 different modes of consciousness, if you will, or 2 different general ways of thinking and speaking. Just for shorthand's sake, just for ease and simplicity, we're going to call one the judgmental mind and the other one the compassionate mind. And from a judgmental standpoint, and I'm going to use these as sort of judgmental ways of hearing. So these are like ears, judgmental ears. So I can have that judgmental consciousness and direct it outward toward you, or I could direct it inwardly toward myself. Those are 2 of the 4 options with the what I'm calling judgmental consciousness. The other 2 options are from the compassionate place, the compassionate point of view. I think of them as like the ears of the heart. So if this is my heart, how I turn that compassionate attention toward myself, or how I turn that compassionate attention outwardly toward you. So if somebody said to me, "You're the worst presenter I've ever experienced," with a judgmental consciousness toward them, I'll judge them back. "You have no right to talk to me that way. I don't see you having the guts to present things and I'll just judge the other person back." It acts a little bit like a shield, like I'm blocking the judgment, I'm trying to deflect, and "I'm not wrong, you're wrong." So that's one option, right? The judgmental consciousness outward toward the other person, whatever the message is. The message could be silence. The message could be that the person walks out of the room and shuts the door without saying anything. And again, I can judge them for that. The second option is that same judgmental consciousness, but toward myself. So somebody says, "You're the worst presenter I've ever experienced." I take their judgment and I internalize it, and I feel terrible about myself. Surely I'm an idiot, and what am I doing teaching something on a video or teaching something in front of a group of people? I'm really a loser, and I never should have done this. Something's really wrong with me. Likewise, if the message is in silence, the person walks out of the room and shuts the door, I can judge myself. I must have done something. Something must be wrong with me. Surely I must have offended them in some way. With that judgmental consciousness inward, I'm guaranteed to experience some form of shame or guilt or depression. With the judgmental consciousness aimed outward, I'm guaranteed to experience some form of anger or rage. And some of us all day are living in that consciousness back and forth. You're wrong, I'm wrong, you're wrong, I'm wrong, you're bad, I'm bad. So those are 2 of the 4 options. Now, let's say somebody says to me, "You're the worst presenter I've ever experienced." And I'm in the compassionate consciousness, and I turn that compassionate consciousness first toward myself. So I'm connecting with what's in my heart. What are my feelings and my needs? So let's say, for example, that maybe I feel some disappointment because I have a need around contribution. I really value contributing to others. In this case, that wasn't fulfilled. Notice how different that is. Notice how different that is from judging the other person or judging myself. I'm not saying you're wrong, I'm not saying I'm wrong. I'm just noticing that I have a need for contribution that in this case wasn't fulfilled, and I feel some disappointment. Or maybe I feel irritation because my need is for understanding. And so I'm wanting to be seen in a different way. So again, that's different than judging you back or judging myself. So that's the third option, compassionate attention toward myself. What am I feeling and needing? Now the compassionate attention toward the other person, the ears of the heart, how am I hearing that message? And somebody says to me, you're the worst presenter I've ever experienced. I don't hear the judgment, you are the worst presenter. I'm actually listening for what's in this person's heart, what's precious to them, what are they feeling and what are they needing? Maybe this person feels some frustration because they had a need for learning that was not fulfilled in this situation. So again, that's different from judging them back or judging myself. I'm tuning in and I'm guessing. I'm not telling them what they're feeling and needing. I'm not assuming that I know. It's an empathic guess. It's like I care and I'm trying to understand. So, I wonder if this person feels some frustration because they have a need for learning that wasn't fulfilled in this situation. Notice again how that's different from judging the other person back or judging myself. Now these 4 options, judgmental consciousness toward the other person, judgmental consciousness toward myself, compassionate consciousness toward myself, and compassionate consciousness toward the other person. These 4 options, I could either keep them to myself, I could have them in silence, or I could vocalize them, say them out loud. So that actually gives us 8 possibilities. This is 8, right? 8 possibilities, regardless of the message that the other person is sending my way. So I hope you enjoyed this very simple concept, and just notice, this could be your assignment out of this video. Just notice as you go through your day, am I judging other people as I'm going through the grocery store? Am I judging myself? Am I having a compassionate consciousness about, and a curiosity, what are my feelings and my needs? Or what are the other person's feelings and needs? And just notice as you go through your day where your consciousness is going. If you want to go deeper, check out some of the other videos. Check out the free video training that I have at blackbeltcommunicationsskills.com, or come to my 4-day retreat. It's going to be super fun. It's at the Whidbey Institute, which is a retreat center in South Whidbey Island, Washington, that has 100 acres of nature trails. They offer organic, locally sourced food. They can accommodate pretty much any food allergies or preferences, all kinds of diets, but the food is really extraordinary, and the space is just tremendous. Check out the page. I'll put a link below. Check out the page where I have testimonials from past participants, and I have some nice footage of the retreat center so you can see what it looks like. The times that I've done it in the past, we've had people from really all over come to this retreat. I had people come from as far away as Hong Kong and Beirut, Lebanon. So it's really an extraordinary retreat, and I hope that you can make it and that you can join us for this really, really fun and enriching 4 days. Thanks.